Hello and welcome to Module 4 of your research class here at UAA. Today we're talking all about purpose statements and how they relate to a research study and project. So I went into Google Scholar and I found a paper that describes this type of work, and I'm going to read exactly what they think a purpose statement is. Quote, "A purpose statement in a scholarly research paper is a clear, concise, 1 to 2 sentence declaration in the introduction that summarizes the main goal, scope, and direction of the study. It specifically defines what the researcher intends to accomplish, covering the why and the what of the project to guide the researcher and to inform the reader." So pretty basic, right? So what are some key aspects to this? Obviously, the purpose. It's sort of the roadmap of the study. What are the components of the study? It typically identifies the research design. Is it qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods? Key variables or phenomenon, and target subjects. If you watched the Zoom session that we did early in the semester, you will remember that a lot of the researchers in the project were talking about key variables. That's where this comes into play. What is the location of this purpose statement? Typically, it's in the introduction. And common phrasing. It will be things like, the purpose of this study is to, or the paper examines dot. Those are the key components of a purpose statement. So now let's talk a little bit about the assignment for this week. It's pretty basic, but very important. So I know the written directions can be confusing sometimes. We're going to jump into this pretty easily. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about the research project that we're working on, the GATE study project, and then go into the library or database of your choice, whether it be Google Scholar, the consortium library, or whatever. And I want you to find 3 related studies. They don't have to be GATE studies, but something that is similar to what we're working on. Once you find those 3 studies, I want you to read through them, get a pretty good understanding of the research question or questions, the hypothesis, if you will, and the purpose statement. Did you find it? Are you able to identify it, etc.? Once you've done that, I want you to pick one of your 3 sources and write the research questions and the purpose statement as your initial post. After that's done, be sure to include the other sources, all 3 of them, in your resources section of the initial post, and do it in APA format. The reason you're doing it in APA, so your fellow students can use that and locate that in their library of choice and move on to the reply section. So the following week, as we've done up to this point, you're going to do 2 replies. The replies are a little bit different than before. So what I want you to do is find one of the students' studies that they used in their resource section. Do not use the one that they used. Use one of the other ones. And I want you to do exactly the same thing that you did in your initial post. Find out what the research questions are. Find out what the purpose statements are. And I want you to put that as your reply. And then you do the exact same thing with reply 2. Pretty easy, right? That's all it is. So if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me via email or text, and I will see you in the discussion.